Who are the elite UK Pathfinders? Their motto is first in, operating primarily behind enemy lines, performing advanced reconnaissance and marking out drop zones, helicopter landing sites and other key intel for the Army's 16 Air Assault Brigade. Once the main forces landed, they provide further tactical intelligence and partake in offensive action roles. Within hours of assignment, they can be transported from the UK to behind enemy lines, reporting this key intel. They avoid radar detection using halo parachute jumps, meaning high altitude, low opening, one of the most dangerous and technically difficult jumps possible. Usually in teams of 4 to 6 men, they often operate alone for days, deep behind enemy lines, but you would never know they are there. One of their many nicknames is Ghost Platoon, and it's easy to see why. They've also been known to work closely with the SAS in the Republic of Macedonia in 2001, mapping out the National Liberation Army's positions. They don't just conduct reconnaissance either. In 2006, they were deployed in the Afghan province of Helmand. They came under ferocious attack from Taliban fighters, forcing them to hold up in a town called Qal'eh. The 6-day mission quickly turned into a fight for survival. Surrounded by Taliban using RPGs, mortars and rifles, they held their own using 50 caliber machine guns, GPMGs, sniper rifles and SA-80s. With supplies running dangerously low, they were resupplied by RAF Chinooks. Using WMIKs or weapon-mounted installation kit Land Rovers, they cordoned off landing zones, giving the Chinooks a safe place to land, but at the cost of leaving their compound vulnerable. Reinforcements in the form of 3 para eventually arrived, allowing them to increase patrols outside of the compound. Further reinforcements were attempted, but the convoys were attacked by the Taliban before reaching the compound, forcing them to withdraw. The fight wasn't over yet. In order to strike fear in the hearts of the Taliban, the Pathfinders set up ambushes of their own, taking out many Taliban in tactical and coordinated assaults. After 52 days of fighting, solace came in the form of Danish forces and later Royal Irish Rangers. It was over. They had won. So no, the Pathfinders aren't just a reconnaissance, intel-gathering platoon. They're a Swiss Army knife with tools and talent in every area of combat. They're the closest thing you can get to Special Forces without actually being in the Special Forces. Much like Special Forces, you can't directly join the Pathfinders. Instead, you must join one of the 3 UK services. However, the core personnel are usually taken from the units within the 16 Air Assault Brigade, such as the Parachute Regiment. The selection course is called the Cadre and is extremely similar to Special Forces selection with a shorter timescale. It consists of 5 phases lasting 6 weeks in total. Phase 1 consists of an 8 and 10 mile march, 2 entry tests and navigation skills training. This is just the introduction. Phase 2 pushes this up a notch, including day and night hill navigation training and several test marches. One lasting 26 kilometers in the Brecon Beacons, another lasting 24 kilometers across the Black Mountains, all culminating in a whopping 40 miler. At this stage, you would have covered around 245 kilometers across phase 1 and 2. Phase 3 introduces candidates to Pathfinder standard operating procedures such as basic patrol, helicopter procedures and construction of concealed observation posts. Phase 4 focuses on live firing and live contact drills, going from 1 to 2 man drills all the way up to platoon-sized live assaults. Phase 5 puts all your training into practice with a 7-day assessment. In teams of 4 to 6, you will execute a simulated reconnaissance mission, culminating with you being captured and put through intensive interrogations. If you make it through all of this, then you'll receive your Maroon Beret and PFDZ Flash. You shall then be on probation for the next year whilst you undergo more specialist training in weapons, radios, other patrol skills, Halo and HAHO training courses. So you make it through all of this. What are you getting paid? Well, sadly, despite basically functioning as a Special Forces unit, you aren't technically a Special Forces soldier, meaning you are on a standard pay table and not the Special Forces equivalent. So your base salaries are as follows. A Lance Corporal shall earn £31,043 a year. As a Corporal, you will make anywhere from £33,065 to £35,419 a year. A Sergeant will earn £37,198 to £41,039, and a Staff Sergeant will make £41,872 to £44,564. However, a new type of RRP was added specifically to help out the Pathfinders, that being high altitude parachute pay. This provides an extra £11.47 per day. Nevertheless, even with this, I think they're the most grossly underpaid group in the entire military, considering the training, selection and skill required. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.